What could cause an entire ship's crew to vanish without a trace? It's a question that has baffled historians, seafarers, and mystery enthusiasts for over a century. Today, we're setting sail on a journey that will take us deep into one of the most perplexing and enduring sea mysteries of all time, the enigma of the Mary Celeste. I'm Eric, your resident expert on all things maritime and mysterious, and welcome back to our channel. What could have possibly happened to the crew of the Mary Celeste? Why was she discovered adrift in the vast, desolate expanse of the Atlantic Ocean, seemingly abandoned yet still seaworthy? Prepare yourself as we unravel the fascinating and eerie story of the Mary Celeste. A story that continues to haunt the annals of maritime history, filled with more questions than answers. The Mary Celeste, a name now synonymous with maritime mystery, was not always cloaked in such dark intrigue. Originally christened the Amazon, this brigantine was built in 1861 in the bustling shipyards of Nova Scotia. Designed to be a robust and reliable vessel, she was crafted to withstand the unpredictable challenges of the open sea, from treacherous storms to the unyielding power of the ocean's currents. However, despite her sturdy construction, the ship's early years were fraught with misfortune. She encountered a series of unfortunate events, collisions, mishaps, and even the untimely death of her first captain, which led some to whisper of a curse upon the ship. Such an ominous beginning only added to the lore that would later envelop the Mary Celeste. After changing hands multiple times and undergoing a renaming, it seemed as though the vessel was ready to leave her troubled past behind and embark on a new chapter. But fate had other plans. On November 7, 1872, the Mary Celeste set sail from New York, her holds filled with 1,700 barrels of industrial alcohol, a volatile and dangerous cargo destined for the bustling port of Genoa, Italy. At her helm was Captain Benjamin Briggs, a seasoned mariner with an impeccable record and a reputation for caution and competence. Joining him on this fateful voyage were his beloved wife Sarah and their 2-year-old daughter Sophia, who had accompanied him on previous voyages and were familiar with life at sea. Alongside them were a crew of 7 hand-picked, experienced sailors, all of whom were skilled in their craft. To those who knew the crew, this seemed like a routine transatlantic crossing, yet it would soon become one of the most enduring mysteries in nautical history. Nearly a month later, on December 5, 1872, the British brig Dei Gratia, commanded by Captain David Morehouse, spotted the Mary Celeste drifting aimlessly approximately 400 miles east of the Azores, an isolated group of islands in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. The sighting was strange enough to raise suspicions, prompting the crew of the Dei Gratia to investigate further. As they approached the Mary Celeste, they were met with an eerie silence, the kind that sends shivers down one's spine. Upon boarding the vessel, they discovered a scene that was both puzzling and unsettling. The ship was deserted. There was no trace of Captain Briggs, his family, or the crew. Personal belongings were scattered about as if their owners had just stepped out momentarily. The cargo of alcohol was untouched and provisions for 6 months remained on board, indicating that the crew had not left in haste due to a lack of supplies. Even more perplexing was the fact that the ship's logbook, with its last entry dated November 25th, showed no sign of trouble. Everything appeared normal up until that day. So what could have driven the crew to abandon a perfectly seaworthy ship in the middle of the ocean? Over the years, countless theories have been proposed to explain the fate of the Mary Celeste and her missing crew, each more intriguing and speculative than the last. One of the most discussed theories suggests that a sudden fear of an impending explosion caused by a gas leak from the alcohol cargo might have driven the crew to hastily abandon ship. Industrial alcohol, being highly volatile, could have led to fumes accumulating in the hold, possibly triggering an explosion scare. But if this were the case, why did the crew leave behind essential items like their navigation instruments and personal documents? Why was the ship found completely intact, with no signs of fire or explosion damage? Another hypothesis revolves around the possibility of a seaquake, a sudden underwater earthquake, that might have caused the crew to believe the ship was sinking. The violent shaking could have thrown them into a state of panic, leading them to take to the lifeboat, only to be lost at sea. However, the ship's condition did not suggest any signs of distress, nor was there any evidence of water ingress that would indicate she was on the verge of sinking. The logbook made no mention of any seismic activity or urgent danger. Piracy is another theory that has been floated, though it seems unlikely given the circumstances. Pirates would typically plunder valuables, Yet the Mary Celeste was found with all her cargo and personal belongings intact. Could there have been a mutiny on board, or perhaps foul play from within the crew? Yet again, there is no evidence to support such a scenario. No signs of struggle, no bloodstains, nothing to suggest violence had taken place. The ship was simply adrift, abandoned by its crew without any apparent reason. Then there are the more supernatural explanations which, while captivating, take us further from the realm of logic. Tales of ghost ships, sea monsters, and cursed voyages have been woven into the legend of the Mary Celeste, feeding the imaginations of those who prefer a more otherworldly explanation. Some have even suggested that the ship was the victim of a mysterious force or an alien abduction, theories that, while thrilling, do little to shed light on the real events that transpired aboard the ship. What we are left with is a maritime mystery that, despite extensive research, investigations, and speculation, remains unsolved. The Mary Celeste continues to be a ghostly presence in the annals of nautical history, a puzzle that defies the passage of time. Historians, researchers, and armchair detectives alike have all attempted to piece together the clues, but the true fate of Captain Briggs, his family, and his crew is a secret the ocean has kept well. So, as we conclude our deep dive into the mystery of the Mary Celeste, I leave you with this question. What do you think happened on that ill-fated voyage? Was it a natural disaster, a grave mistake, or something far more sinister? Share your thoughts and theories in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this exploration into one of the sea's greatest mysteries, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you won't miss out on our next adventure into the unknown. Until then, keep your eyes on the horizon and your mind open to the mysteries of the deep.